What's going on, everyone? It's your boy E here. This is the proverbial life. So today, man, I'm thinking about this idea of winners and losers. And the question that came to my mind is, do you and I have a winner's mentality or do we have a loser's mentality? Sorry, I'm just backing up out of my driveway. You know, do you have a winner's mentality or do you have a loser's mentality? And what is that? You think about a winner and a loser and what makes up each of those individuals. There are winners who came from hard backgrounds. So we can't blame that, right? That doesn't mean that isn't an obstacle. That doesn't mean that isn't a barrier. But if you have winners in situations winners who came from difficult backgrounds, sorry. If you have something happen over here, I'm going to keep that in the video. If you have people who came from difficult backgrounds and they are successful, and I'll talk about what I mean by successful in a moment. But when you have those kind of individuals, there's something that they were able to tap into that brought them beyond their background, right? There's something that they learned, that they dug or exposed or captured, that they were able to get a hold of, that helped them propel to the next level. And listen, the next level is how you define it. I'm not necessarily talking about financial independence, although it includes that, but I'm talking about a mindset. And that's what I want to really get to in this video, is the mindset of a loser and the mindset of a winner. The mindset of a loser is excuse making. The mindset of a loser is blame shifting. The mindset of a loser is continually pointing the finger, blame shifting, at someone else or something else. And it's lazy, it's pessimistic, it's always negative, right? It's always looking backwards instead of looking forward, right? So that's the mindset of a loser. That's someone who will not be successful. Now, what do I mean by successful? I mentioned this in the video I posted the other day. Someone who is successful is someone who's always growing, someone who's always seeking to know more, and whatever category of interest, right? So for you, if it's finances, if it's family, if it's church, if it's politics, whatever it is, but it's growing, it's moving forward, it's never stopping, never giving in to the quote-unquote norms, but it's always striving to be better and grow and be more. And as Christians, that's what the proverbial life is about, right? All of Christ for all of life, leaving a legacy behind for generations to follow. As Christians, we have been created to be individuals who grow, right? The kingdom of God is to grow. The kingdom of God is to expand, right? The gospel is something that expands. It doesn't decrease, right? The Lord's reign on the earth doesn't decrease, but it reigns, it grows, it just continues to spread. And that is how God created us as individuals, right? People created in His likeness. We are to grow, we are to expand, we are to expand so much that we bless others, right? That we're able to be the lender and not the borrower, right? And not just financially, because I really want to dig that in. It doesn't mean that finances isn't included in that, but it isn't limited just to finances. But in every area of our lives, when we talk about expanding and growing and becoming more and doing more and being more productive, this is all about growth. This is all about becoming more for the benefit of yourself and for others. So a loser is always making excuses. A loser is always shifting blame. A loser is always complaining and negative, Whereas winners are always striving to be more. They're always striving to grow for the benefit of others. They're always learning and growing, and they have a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for progress, a thirst for wisdom. They find themselves desiring to put themselves in a position to win, right? They don't make excuses about everything. They don't blame shift, right? They take on responsibility. They take the onus of responsibility on themselves. They look in the mirror. Some of you need to just look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, right? Why are you broke? Why are you overweight? Why can't you contribute to society? Why can't you provide for your family? These are all questions we need to ask ourselves. These are all questions that we need to be honest with about ourselves and do something about it. Change the way we think. Change the way we make decisions and the way we live, right? There's no excuses in the age that we're living in. You and I can learn anything, almost anything we want to learn, as long as we put our minds to it and we make a decision to learn it. We can. Now, that's saying that you don't have a, mental disability that, holds you back from learning and applying what you learn. But for the most part, if you're watching this video, you can grow and learn in any area you want to grow in if you put your mind to it. Now, you can grow in areas to the capacity of accessibility you have, right? So obviously, if you're in a foreign country and you don't have access to the internet, then there's so much growth you can get to, but with the resources that you have available to you, right? And the Bible talks about this, to whom much is given, much is expected, right? So you and I, who live here in the States, who have access to technology at the flow of the fingers. I've never heard that term used before. That's an Edwinism. But you feel me? Like, we have access to all these resources in front of us. Right now, I'm recording this video as I was driving to work on my phone, and I'm going to upload this video on iMovie, and then I'm going to put some background music to it, maybe put some color schemes in it, and that's it. And I'm going to upload it, and people are going to watch this video on YouTube. Right now, you're watching this video on YouTube, and little by little, this gives me the opportunity to create a message that I can share with people to be a blessing to them. And who knows how this can turn into something more. If I want that, if I fight for it, if I grow, if I seek to grow in this area, I can become an expert in this area of making videos, of editing, or so on and so forth. So whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. And the difference between a winner and a loser is that it's on a mindset. It's a decision, right? So again, going back to the principle, 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat, whether you drink, whatever you do, do all for the glory of God, right? So what is it that you have your hands to do? Do it for the glory of God. Edwin, do it for the glory of God. No excuses. No blame shifting, right? No pity, parties over the past. No self-condemnation, but get up. Look to Christ. Walk by faith. Seek to glorify Him in whatever you lay your hands on to do, in the best possible way you can do it, with the abilities that God has gifted you with. And stop making excuses. And that is the difference between a winner and a loser. So leave a comment below. What do you think? What do you think makes up a winner? And what is it that makes up a loser? And are people without certain people without certain resources, can they be, for example, maybe someone who is from a lower income community? Can they be as successful as someone who is in a higher income community? Right? Because we've seen that. We've seen people who come from impoverished backgrounds far exceed people who come from wealthy backgrounds. So what do you think the difference is between those two individuals, right? Is it mindset, or is it privilege, or what do you think? Let me hear what your thoughts are. Leave a comment below. Before you leave, please don't forget to like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get my muscles up on YouTube because I want to spread videos like this for others. I want to help encourage them and build them up. As always, man, this is a video recording from the proverbial life that seeks to glorify God in everything we do, man, for his name's sake. The proverbial life is a place where we encourage Christians to look to Christ, live wisely, and leave a legacy behind for generations to follow. Grace and peace.